Good morning. All right, guys, welcome to the first summary video or Cliff Notes, as I call them sometimes, for crime and justice in the urban community. Keep in mind that classes resume on Tuesday, March 24th, and for Tuesday, March 24th, basically I'm going to go through the summary now. So interestingly enough, if you remembered, I'd made a mistake on the syllabus where I didn't create a lecture for the 24th. It actually turned out to be perfect. So the lecture that was supposed to have been for March 17th is now moved to the 24th. So this is Urban Renewal and the Power of Appearance. And the chapter was supposed to be Canal Street and Venus Canal Street is a Venus flytrap. So keep in mind for that lecture, the big thing that I really wanted you to get out of that lecture is the power of urban renewal and how New York City has been relying on broken windows theory. Broken windows theory, hopefully you guys know about. If you don't know it, it's included in the lecture. Please review the things for broken windows theory. Very generally speaking, broken windows theory is based on the idea that crime will decrease if you kind of upkeep or increase the appearance of a neighborhood. You clean up the sidewalks, you start enforcing littering laws, you start enforcing people cleaning up after their dogs, you paint new signs, you put up trees, you remove graffiti. The idea is that the better a neighborhood looks, the more that people will treat it nicely, and crime should decrease as a result of that. It also has to do with tolerance to public disorder, which is whether or not people are willing to invest and say something if somebody's doing something wrong in their neighborhoods. We are still in an era of broken windows policing, which is largely based on appearance. So where that used to be people urinating on the walls, quality of life crimes, please pay attention to the lecture. I mentioned Giuliani and the quality of life crimes, urinating on the wall, vagrancy, littering, etc. That evolved a little bit coming out of the 90s and going into the 2000s, which was, like if you see a kid that's like spray painting graffiti on a wall, the idea is that neighborhood residents will look at that person and say, I don't like how that looks. I'm going to call the police. That was the 90s version of it. The 2000s version became, I don't like that kid with sagging pants. I don't like that kid with the do-rag on. I'm going to call the police. So unfortunately, broken windows policing has led to racial profiling, led to stop and frisk, all in the name of making neighborhoods look nice. So there's certain... even the commissioner of NYPD, Ray Kelly, admitted, he's like, we don't do racial profiling, we do cultural profiling. It's not the black kid, it's the black kid with the sagging pants and the hooded sweatshirt on. Yes, I mean, this was actually said out loud in the early 2000s. So that's the result of that. Also, in this lecture, I wanted to cover gentrification and how that's a part of broken windows, if you will. It's part of that cleaning a neighborhood up. A neighborhood gets nicer if wealthy people start moving in. So keep in mind that gentrification, the root word is gentry, and the gentry is the wealthy class. It was during feudalist times, it was the wealthy friends of kings and queens and royal families. They were invited to the castle to party and whatnot. But the gentry, those that have wealth, gentrification is not specifically about race, because I know a lot of people look at gentrification and they're like, oh, it's when white people move into a neighborhood. No, it's when wealthy white people move into a neighborhood. Because if working class white people moved into a neighborhood, the neighborhood would stay the same. Wealthy white people, or just wealthy people generally speaking, bring their preferences. They bring the preference for Starbucks, Trader Joe's, and Whole Foods and Panera and Chipotle and stuff like that. These are the preferences, and the neighborhoods change as a result. So please pay attention to the lecture. From this point forward, this is an online class, and we are not meeting as a class at 9 a.m. on Tuesdays. I'm not doing Zoom. I'm not going to do this thing where we meet online as a class, because I can't trust that everybody has the right bandwidth for that. So from now on, everything is on Blackboard, okay? You have to rely on Blackboard. You have to get on a computer to do an online course, yes. But I'm allowing you to do this on your own time. So whether that is you go to a relative's house to use their computer, you have your own computer, you can technically do all of this on your phone, really, except for type your papers. But everything is on Blackboard now. So what I expect from this point forward is for you to go into course documents and review the lectures each week. Read what you're supposed to read for each week. Follow the quizzes. So also this week on March 24th, 2 quizzes are due. But the way that I've set them up, if you go under the assignments tab on Blackboard, you're going to see everything that is due, the due dates that are there, and you can upload the documents there. So I expect you to type Word documents, not some funky whatever kind of documents. Just please give me something that I can open and look at, okay? Word, preferably. And if you can't save it as a Word, save it as a rich text format or RTF. Save it as a PDF. But just don't, Google Docs does not work well with the QCC system. It just doesn't. So please do not send me a Google Doc. Do not share a Google Doc with me. Please just send a Word file. So you'll see on the assignments that I've had the quizzes have specific readings attached to them. The due dates are going to stay the same. So for the rest of the semester, quizzes will be due on March 24th, today, April 28th, and May 12th. Okay, you have 6 more quizzes to get to me. If you haven't got those early quizzes to me, please email them to me. Generally speaking, if you cannot email me I'm sorry, if you can't upload things under assignments, I ask that you just email them to me directly. There's a grade book. If you're curious about how you're doing in the class, you can look at the grade book and review the grade book. There will be an exam on March 31st, okay? Just know that the portal is already under assignments. It's already there. There's a review sheet already there that you can open now and start studying. Otherwise, at 9 a.m. on March 31st, I'm going to be putting up the exam as a Word document. You are to open the document, type directly onto it, save it, submit it back onto under that assignments portal, okay? If that doesn't work, you email it to me. But you have from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You have 8 hours to take this exam. And honestly, like, you only need 20 minutes. It's a really simple exam. Same format for the final exam on, I believe it's the 18th or the 20th, I forget. But it's all there. Everything is up there. Just, you're relying on Blackboard from this point forward. Thank you guys for a good class. I'm going to be putting up a video like this every week. And then otherwise, you consume this material on your time. You could do everything at 2 in the morning, except for the exam. You have to do that between 9 to 5 on March 31st. Everything else you could do on your own time, okay? Otherwise, that's that. If you have any questions, please email me. Take care, guys. All right? Stay safe.